Alright, I'm still waiting on the front end parts for the S2000. I'm also still waiting on the parts for the Volvo. So in the meantime, I'm working on the interior, and the plan for today is to replace the radio. I've already pulled out the old one and all the extra wiring. It's kind of a rat's nest. But I'm going to replace it with a tablet. The benefits of the tablet, the audio quality might not be as good, but I can use torque and connect that to the ECU and get kind of the live readings from the ECU. I can then stream those live readings to my website. Then if I ever want to do sort of a driving live stream, I can put an overlay of, you know, the speed, RPMs, anything that I want, really, just on the screen. And that's pretty cool, I think. Don't have the radio. I've seen a lot of guides online using tablets, and they'll like take the original radio and shove it in the glove box. I don't really have a glove box. The radio that was in this is trash. It's gone, I threw it away. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna use a Bluetooth amplifier. I'll connect the tablet to the Bluetooth, and then the amplifier connected to the speakers. And then all of the parts for that are over here. All right, so these are all the parts I'm going to use for this. I have a mount to mount the tablet, of course, charger. Then this is the Bluetooth amplifier. I'll connect the tablet to this using Bluetooth, and it goes out to the speakers from there. It only came with this to plug it in, but it's DC 12 volt, 3 amp. I think I can cut this and connect it into the car. I'm going to replace the cigarette lighter with this. It's a fast charger, and I will use that to charge the tablet. I have some speaker wire, a little mount that I made. The dash is kind of hacked apart in plastic. There's only one real place I can put a screw through to mount it. It's gonna be it all stable. And then mount this onto that onto the one place that I can screw something in. And that'll keep it not super steady, but it'll keep it from falling out of the dash at least. All right, so this is the hole that the old owner had put in the dash. They just kind of cut it. Not a lot to mount in there. Everything's plastic. There's a little eyelet that they screwed in there, and I'm gonna screw into that because the nearest metal piece I could kind of bolt it to that's sturdy would be way back there. And I don't want to make a bracket that big. So where the radio used to be, that's where I'm gonna put the amplifier, and I'll run the wires from there back to the speakers. That'll give me access to the buttons on the front easier. And then I'll put the tablet here. So when all's done here, it's basically going to look like this. I'll have access to the controls there. The tablet will cover the hole, and it will be sort of movable in there to an extent. Gonna need to make a bracket for the amp down here to mount it more stable. Sort of right there. Yeah, that's the plan. So one other thing, if I can take this off and check these buttons, see how they work. What I'm thinking I will do, I wish this was a knob and not just a button, but what I'm thinking about doing is making these still control the tablet. For that, it really depends on what they do, how they work. The mute button, no, there's no mute on this. The mute I would have to somehow connect to to zero out the sound. The volume wouldn't be too hard to control. I could do it all with like an Arduino or something. I wish, like, there's no next track, previous track. Suppose mute I could work with, the volume I could work with, just next track, next track, next track. Hook that up like that, which could be cool, you know, be able to control the music, because I don't have any controls on the steering wheel. Also probably gonna get a different steering wheel. Well, I guess let's just get to it then. I'll mount the camera up and start working. First thing, alright, so I've got the cigarette lighter back here unplugged, and I've cut this. Now I'm going to do a quick danger test. Just to see if this will work. All right. So I can definitely power this off of the cigarette lighter. So now I guess I will get the soldering iron, solder up a cable to run to the front. Then I'm going to put this where the cigarette lighter was. Also, I don't smoke, but I do have a phone to charge, so that's probably annoying. Really? So yeah, that worked. I'm going to hook this up in place of the cigarette lighter and run a cable for the amp. Then I also need to figure out the charger for the tablet. I'm gonna have to run a cable for that also. But I don't want to just plug it into here all the way back here. I'd like it to be hidden and just the cable come out. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I'll go about that. So I guess I'll be back. All right, so I've run the wire from the cigarette lighter back here, which is now a fast charge USB port, through, and it comes here. So what that should mean is when I start the car, it turns on. All right. And I can play music. And if I play, okay, so all that's left now is the charger for the tablet, which will probably be left until next time. Probably do that off camera. I could have run it from the USB port that I installed, but I mean, I still might. Just run a USB cable, plug it into the back of the USB port there, run just the cable up to here. But for now, I'm just going to leave it on battery. So what I need to do is mount this in here, like so. I will put a bar across, mount here and here, and then mount it to the bar. That way I can have the volume control and the bass and treble and all that. And this will get mounted in here, like so. So for now, I'm gonna just leave this like this. So, out of time for the day, I'm actually late, but I just have to screw this down and screw that down so that it doesn't move. And then it's golden. Yeah, it's awesome.